It sounds like the storm is dying down, but it's too late to start heading back now.
We've slept in worse places, to be honest. So Belle, you were saying?
Not much else to say. Did change sides. The Hornwrights hired him to try and calm down the onion, sold himself out, and for what?
He didn't sound like he did because he was a bad person. An entire holotape points to that. Hoping you'd find it one day, and you didn't. You may have forgotten I'm the daughter of a Duerdu Aquino, the easy fix lawyer. Face on a dozen billboards in the greater Charleston area.
She has a point, Annabelle. We all sold out, one way or the other.
But he didn't just sell out. He betrayed them all, the living and the dead.
It still sounds like he did it for a good reason. To make a future for his only child.
Good intentions paved the way. Well, you know the rest. Sounds like Messi is trying to get through again.
It's really faint. The storm is probably interfering with the signal. Nevertheless, we should try and send a signal whenever this storm lets up.
If it lets up, every time I think it's dying, it starts back up. The sun, or what's left of it, is setting. Looks like we'll be here for the night.
It's no go. I've entirely lost the signal, again.
Doesn't matter. He's probably just bored. He said there wasn't too much he could do with the damaged portions of Preptus anyway.
It's starting to get damn cold in here. There's enough ventilation in here. We could get a fire going. A small one anyway.
I made a small fire when I was here last, but it wasn't raining either. I could pop outside and see if I can spot an old oil drum or something we could use.
I'll go with you. Don't want anybody out alone in this. Those mole miner creatures are everywhere down here. It's still really coming down out here.
I remember plenty of debris out by that wrecked train just up the road past the bridge.
A good place to start looking. Keep an eye out. Our visibility is a bit limited. I can barely make out the bridge. We're getting close. I spot mole miners. Take cover.
I see two, no, three of them. But it looks like they are retreating.
And look what I hid behind. An old drum, still in decent shape. Okay, let's turn it on its side and try and roll it. Easy does it. You okay there, Ace?
I'm fine, but we really need to get out of this. The rain is kicking up the ash.
You took your sweet time. I thought I heard gunfire.
We did. We ran into some mole miner friends, but apparently we scared them off.
We did find an oil drum. 45 gallons. A few holes, but still good for our purposes.
While you were gone, I found an old coffee can to use as a tinderbox. Should be enough debris to burn for a decently small fire.
Just make sure there isn't anything plastic. Anything that could generate toxins.
I have a dozen or so years on you in terms of making proper fires. But we should be fine with what I found. That should burn for at least an hour or so. Enough to get us warm. Hurry up with those matches. They should still be good.
There we go. Easy does it.
We'll get it burned. Remember to keep it low.
The fumes are a bit much, but most of the smoke is heading up throughout the cracks in the ceiling at least.
Prometheus was probably a woman.
What are you going on about, Belia?
Nothing. Prometheus was the one who gave fire to man in the ancient Greek stories. But I dare say any man would still be arguing over who did it best.
You said it right there, sister.
And more importantly, I'm starting to warm up. We should try and dry off as best as we can as well.
If you wanted to get me naked, you only needed to have vest.
I'm using Annabelle, but thank you. I think we all need a good laugh.
Got any of that whiskey left?
About a quarter of the bottle. Maybe a bit less. But I get the first swig. Here you go, A-Bone. Ace. You want any of this?
No thanks. I want to keep a level head. Our friends might come back.
Looking around this place, the house could be rebuilt. Somewhat. Enough to make it a more permanent structure.
Part of me wants to be as far from this place as possible. Too many memories.
And the other parts of you?
I don't know. The upper floor could be rebuilt. Make it a proper home again. I guess. Not the most hospitable of locations, though.
That's the most difficult part of reclamation.
What is the most difficult part?
I was thinking about the reclamation lectures. That the psychological component would be the most difficult. Resettling. Rebuilding. Memories of what we had lost.
So does that mean you're willing to retake and rebuild Riverside Manor?
I didn't live there before the war. Why would it be up to me?
It seems like Shannon was what family you had left. Inheriting your house would be logical.
Annabelle has a point there. Not like she has any living descendants to contest that anyway.
I mentioned rebuilding a second floor. 2, 3 rooms. You both suggest I fix up an entire mansion?
Obviously, I didn't mean alone. One big fort, the size of it. We could house dozens of people there, or in an emergency.
We don't know that there weren't any survivors. 1 or 2 might have.
I would love to be wrong on this, but let's face the facts. Nobody survived. The raiders completely and utterly wiped them out.
And to be even more honest, they had help, an insider, maybe multiple. A stash that comes to any lonely girl.
I refuse to believe that any member of the Order would turn that easily.
You read it yourself. Most of the members were teenage girls who had lost everything. Were turned children. They were already broken long before any offers from David Thorpe.
And I doubt the boss himself handled that. A few debonair faces, an impressionable young girl or two. Easy pickings.
But how can Shannon and Olivia have been so blind to that? They would have noticed. Cracks in the organization long before there was a real compromise.
We all have our blind spots. Doesn't make us weak. Just human.
We have our cracks, and perhaps we haven't taken them seriously enough.
If you mean Maniac or Julie Gem.
Or Jerry. Or Bruno. Or hell. Even Maxie.
Everybody has a potential crack. I'm not concerned about the obvious ones. I'm more concerned about those who swing for the fences with good intentions.
Which leaves us with nobody to trust.
That's been the way it has been since the day we left the vault. No automated security measures with an overseer to push a button.
Yes, I miss her too. I never thought I'd say that. She was some twerp with glasses who thought she could tell me what to do. And now the last few months, every day I just create some spectral image of her in my mind, advising me, correcting me, making sure I never go too far.
Can still remember when you fought her tooth and nail. Nobody told Billy Babditler what to do.
In the end, we were her blind spot. Just as Vault Tech wanted.
The rain and wind are dying down. I suggest we get some sleep in shifts. Gather our strength for tomorrow. Insert inspirational and patriotic speech about tomorrow being a new dawn.
I can take first watch. Annabelle, you really, and I mean really, need some rest. Take the bottle to bed if need be.
Part of me wants to throw up hands over that little comment, but you're right. Can't promise I'll actually get any sleep.
Will make me happy if you at least try. That's all any of us can do these days. Just try. I figure on her being passed out within 5 minutes.
4 minutes the moment she's off her feet. Some of the cracks won't be so obvious.
We are our own worst enemies. It kills me to see her like this.
You may be foretelling your eventual future. If she doesn't get it together, the wasteland isn't a forgiving place.
Where nature ends is where man, or woman, begins. It is up to us to provide the forgiveness, the mercy, the tempering of justice.
First, we have to survive before we can consider any of that.
Justice is the beginning of civilization and not merely a later consideration.
I really hope you still feel that way when you have to do what is necessary. One day.
One day. Not today. Hopefully not tomorrow. Tonight I just count the cracks in the ceiling.